Hey there, friends. You already know what you need to do. You knew before you clicked this video, and you've known for a while now, and you still have not done it yet. That decision, that conversation, the move, the change that you know has been long overdue, somewhere inside of you, the answer is already sitting there, fully formed, quiet, waiting. And yet you have not done it. So the question is not, what should I do? The question is, why am I not doing what I already know I should? And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what has been holding you back. And I'm going to give you a way to move through that confidently. That does not require you to feel fully ready first, so you can just do the thing. I know this because I have lived in that gap of the knowing but not doing, and it sucks. And the way out was not what I expected. Let me describe something and tell me if it sounds familiar to you at all. So you're thinking about making a really important change, a real one. Like, this is not a small little tweak. This is a whole shift, a new job, a new direction, a new city, a hard conversation, a boundary you need to set that you've known has been bothering you for a while, but you've been afraid to speak up, and you know it's time. But instead of acting and moving on it, you do something else interesting. You start researching, you start thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking some more. You read another book, you listen to another podcast, you watch another video, you have another conversation with another friend, you make another list, you start another journal entry, and all of that feels productive, right? It feels like progress, but it's not progress. It's one of the most highly sophisticated forms of procrastination and avoidance you could practice. And I want to give you a name for this. It's called productive procrastination. And the reason it's so dangerous is because it looks like movement, right? You're busy, you're doing a lot of stuff, you're checking the boxes, right? It feels like you're getting closer, but you're not getting closer to the decision. You're just getting more and more comfortable with not making a decision. Here is what I've seen in my own life and in the life of a lot of the people who I've sat across from, who I've consulted with, who I've coached with, who have been stuck in this pattern, okay? There are three things disguised as being smart or wisdom that actually keep you stuck. And high achievers and intelligent people especially struggle with these, right? So the first is information gathering. You just tell yourself, I just need a bit more time, a bit more information, a bit more clarity, one more conversation, one more article, but that data that you're getting, that you're absorbing, is still not changing your mind. All it's doing is giving you permission to delay. The second is false complexity. You tell yourself, this decision is just really complicated. I mean, it has so many layers, but the complexity is not the same thing as confusion, right? So you are using the complexity of the situation as a shield, so you don't have to face the simplicity of what you already know you need to do. And the third is waiting for certainty, right? You tell yourself you'll act when you feel sure, right? Like when the timing is right, when the fear goes away, but that certainty never comes, because certainty does not arrive before the decision. It arrives after. Let me say that again, but a little differently. Action kills fear. As you take more action, you feel more certain. So certainty is the outcome of a good decision, but certainty is not required to make one. Does that make sense? As you take the action from a decent decision, you become more certain, but certainty is not the requirement for a good decision. And you've been telling yourself, I have to feel certain before I make a good decision. And that's not true. So here's what's actually happening underneath the surface of all of this. And this is the part that most people never look at. You're afraid of making the wrong decision. You're afraid of, what the right decision could potentially cost you. If you already know what you need to do, the fear is not fear of the unknown. The fear is about the known. You can see exactly what the right decision is going to require of you, and you wonder if you're going to be able to match that. And that's what's stopping you. The right decision might cost you a relationship or the approval of someone whose opinion you built your entire identity on. It might cost you financial security for a season. It might cost you the version of yourself that other people around you are familiar with and comfortable with, right? But the truth is, oftentimes decision is clear, but the price is uncomfortable. I'll say that again for you. The decision is clear, but the price is uncomfortable. So how do we deal with that, right? And here is what I want to reframe for you. And I want you to take this thought. It's a huge paradigm shift, but it will change the way you address things like this, because this changes everything. You're not deciding is not a safe option. You think not deciding is safe. You think staying where you are protects you from loss, but not deciding is a decision, okay? And it has a huge cost, and that's called opportunity cost. Every week you stay in the knowing but not doing gap, something is being spent. It might be your time, it might be your energy, it might be your peace, it might be your alignment with the person you are capable of becoming. And that gap is not neutral. It is expensive, okay? And the longer you stay in it, the higher the bill. Let me show you what is really happening when you stay stuck, when you avoid, right? Because it's not laziness, it's not weakness, it's usually one of two things, okay? The first is identity protection. So you are choosing between two options, two versions of yourself. You're choosing the version that stays, that is familiar, right? That safe version, that known version. That version that acts is unknown. That new you is unproven. That you that's taking that decision and stepping out, it feels like stepping off a cliff, right? But here's what I want you to see. You are already not that old person anymore who stays still. You're not that version of you anymore, because if you were, you would not be watching this video right now. The old version of you would not have this conversation we're having right now running in their head. The fact that you already know what you need to do means you have already outgrown the version of yourself that was comfortable where you were. So you are not choosing to become someone new. You are choosing to stop pretending that you are someone old. Think about that for a minute, all right? And so the second thing underneath all of this avoidance is also grief. And nobody talks about this, but it's super important. When you make a hard decision, anytime there's a sudden change, even if it's a good one, the right one, the brave one, you lose something. And there's grief involved with that. There's grief when a chapter closes, when a door shuts, and when a newer door, a better door is open. You still have to grieve the old one. Embrace your feelings, no matter what they are, because a grieving process is a healing process, and a healing process is a grieving process. And there's a wonderful book called The Grief Recovery Handbook that I highly recommend that can help you walk through this, because that's something that a lot of people don't know. Even a good change has grief involved. And anytime we have a sudden change, there is grief involved. So here is what I want you to do. Not tomorrow, not after you think about it some more, but right now, I'm going to give you what I call the avoidance audit. These are 4 questions. Answer them honestly, and you will know exactly where you stand. Number 1, if I already knew the answer, what would it be? If the answer comes to you instantly, and for most of you it will, you do not need more information. You do not need a plan, okay? You know the answer. Question 2, what am I protecting by not acting? I want you to name that specifically. Is it a relationship? Is it a reputation? Is it that older version of yourself? Is it a financial comfort? Name the thing that you are guarding, because unnamed protection becomes invisible chains. It becomes an invisible prison. It's this thing hanging over you. We don't want that anymore. Number 3, what is the cost of another 6 months of staying in this knowing but not doing gap, right? Don't be vague about this. Be concrete, be specific. What does it look like in your life 6 months from now if nothing changes, right? How does that feel? Is that a price you are willing to pay? And question 4 is, what would I tell someone I love if they were where I am right now? What would you say to them? You already know what you would say to them. So now I want you to say that to yourself with the same honesty and with the same care. If you're facing a decision where the gap between knowing and doing has been costing you, and you want structured help crossing that gap, I do a limited number of From Confusion to Clarity decision strategy sessions each week. And the link to sign up for that is below. And they are extremely limited. So if it's something that you think you would want help with walking through this decision, I'm happy to help you do that. Regardless, I want you to know something, right? The gap between knowing and doing is not a thinking problem. It's a courage problem. And courage does not arrive when fear leaves. Courage arrives when you decide that the cost of staying is higher than the cost of moving. So friend, you already know what to do. Now is the time to trust yourself enough to do it. So thank you for watching to the end of this video. You didn't have to, but by watching, it makes a big difference for me. So thank you so much for watching to the end. And please like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. And I'm excited, like in the comments, tell me, like, what is the thing you've been delaying? What is that decision what is that thing you know you needed to do that you haven't done yet? And what was the most helpful takeaway for you from this video? What are you going to be doing differently? How are you going to act differently? How are you going to move forward differently? Please comment so that we can all celebrate you, because this is the stuff that life is made of. Doing these kinds of things, asking yourself the tough questions, facing yourself honestly, and having the boldness to move. So I want to applaud you for that. Leave your comment in the description below so we can celebrate you, and I will see you in the next one.